Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah Catherine, this is Lacey's Movies, and we're back with the next episode of Young Justice. We've just completed our Rocket arc, and it was an arc that happened. And yeah, that's about all I have to say on it. I think I talked at length about my feelings in the last episode, so I'm not even gonna get into it. But I think our most important takeaway is that all of the Kryptonians have figured out that A, Superboy is not a Kryptonian prisoner, so now there's a mystery to unravel on their end. And B, Phantom Girl has been awoken, and since she was presumably the way Connor got into the Phantom Zone, seems like she's going to be the way that he and probably all the other Kryptonians get out. We are leading into a Nightwing arc situation, or at least that's what the last episode left us to assume. And I'm a little curious how they're going to make him relevant, only because I'm not sure how he can detective his way into finding a solution to Connor being in the Phantom Zone when he doesn't know that Phantom Girl and all of the future travelers exist. That feels like a very crucial clue that he does not have. But as with pretty much all of these arcs, I really don't know what direction they're gonna go into as we start out, so I'm not gonna waste time trying to think of any predictions. I'm just gonna get into it. So on that note, let's get started. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Age-old question. The Flash versus a Kryptonian. Oh. Okay, but if...
Inform this ship to stand down and cooperate, or all three of its little friends die now.
If Chameleon and,
That's better.
Malala Falak both turned into the same alien, how come Chameleon got his ass kicked so fast? Like, you turned into the same creature. Shouldn't you at least be working on the same power level? There wasn't even like a 1-2 punch thing. It was just down. Bro needs to hit the gym. At least Bart had a plan. I liked where he was going with it. It didn't work, but I liked where he was going with it. A circus. That's how you know it's Nightwing.
Madams and messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, children and
They also like started a whole potential plotline with like Nightwing and his parents and the whole carnival, and it just like never went anywhere. And like obviously we're back now, but I'm like, are we gonna have time to explore any of that, like the remnants of his family history, or is this gonna go right back into Connor?
yes is the return of the one, the only.
Oh wow.
Danger.
Is this another mission, or is he just living out his childhood a little bit?
Short of a flight to the stars.
Oh, that's cool. I'd be very impressed by that if I went to a carnival.
Oh, but would Dan ever make it up to the far reaches of the galaxy?
Ooh. That would give me anxiety to watch, but it is very impressive. Like, you're getting your money's worth for this kind of show.
Thinking about joining up? We could always use you in the act.
No, I'm more of a headliner.
You can't afford me.
I don't need a trapeze artist. I need a detective.
His face just dropped. He was like, no. I thought there was gonna be some flirting and some fun trapeze acts. Not this. I don't want to go to work.
You are immune to the Phantom Zone projector's security measures. Clearly, you weren't in its database. What happened to you?
There was a bomb. I think I was trying to neutralize it. There was lava and it burned. Then I remember a flash of light, and I woke up here.
Then it sounds like you were a hero.
Hero?
So is Phantom Girl just pretending to be unconscious? Or did she just wake up for like a quick second?
I am the House of Zod. This is our crest. Do you remember yours?
Yep. Here we go. I feel like your crests are very similar. Also, they both looked real peeved, but I'm going to assume you guys are smarter than to get mad at a dude with no memory.
He were alive 24 hours isn't much time to prove.
Klarion nasi.
Help me! Please!
Okay, I see where you're coming from, but that hardly proves anything.
That? If Connor were dead and not at peace, we would have found him. And if he is at peace, he wouldn't be calling for help.
But how does a non-magical, non-metaphysical, non-time travel, dimension traveler dude figure this out?
Recognized. Kid
Ooh.
Flash D04. Status missing.
So now 2 outsiders have gone missing?
On 2 different planets. They're probably not connected, but it's worth looking into for both Bart and Connor's sakes.
Well, at least this gives them a direction for this.
Hacking store security footage where he last shopped.
Who are those 2?
Not recognized.
No results. I'll run a face match against other collected footage, starting with likely locations.
Recognized.
Well, well, well.
Well, indeed.
Well, at least this is satisfying, because I was really like, what is he gonna do here? But they like took it in a sensible, in a logical direction. They are using him well.
Superman, we need your help.
He's.
I've got to find another place to drink coffee.
I'm just trying to vibe, bro. Get an espresso machine. Hang out at your house.
I know it feels like 1,000 years, but we were only sentenced to 10.
I am the Superboy, a clone made from the DNA of the Superman.
Who is this Superman? Is he a son of El?
I was Kal-El, son of Lara-El and Jor-El. Superman is my genetic half-brother.
Would he be your half brother and not your dad?
How many years have passed on Krypton since we were sent here?
Krypton exploded over 40 years ago. Kal-El was its sole
Yikes!
survivor,
Wait,
and I killed him.
Superman's 40? Aging well.
Anyone eavesdrops, they'll think we're talking about the upcoming Monarchs Knights baseball game.
Please, the Monarchs are gonna run away with it.
Clark.
Oh, right.
I imagine you recognize these 2.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There was a thing, indeed.
Day before he disappeared, who are they?
Their identities are strictly on a need-to-know basis.
Bart's missing. They may be responsible. We need to know.
Without going into detail, I had good reason to trust them. Leave it at that for now.
I hope the Knights
I
side
like-
with the Monarchs.
How they immediately just go into a very young and teenage like vibe. The adults aren't telling us the information.
They were buying supplies. Maybe gearing up for a mission. If so, what else would they need?
Transportation.
A space belt and a Zeta 2 power core are all unaccounted for. How did you know?
Who took them?
Nope.
Run it again, frame by frame.
I feel like that's your answer already. You don't even need the...
I just don't know about this.
Please keep an open mind.
Recognized.
Yeah. Mystery Girl was awake.
But also, I just like seeing all my characters I actually like together. Like... Yay! The thing I wanted this whole time.
Mystery Boy was at the UN the day Superboy revealed himself to the world.
And there's your direct connection to Connor.
Okay.
A League squad just came back from a mission off-world that involved a time-traveling Kryptonian.
And Bart's a time traveler. Who led that mission?
There we go.
Z, can you show us Raquel's memory of the beam that destroyed the projector?
And the glimpse she got of the inside of the Phantom Zone. Do it.
Favorite serum menu keys.
I'm having a lot of fun with this, actually. I mean, isn't it kind of just rehashing everything we've seen? Yeah, but when characters I like are doing it,
Help me!
and it's like actually well written.
So, you think Connor's in the Phantom Zone?
Trapped. For months. Bart may be on a path parallel to ours. Hunch they were on the bioship that destroyed the projector. What if Bart the time traveler is with 2 other time travelers? What if they have inside intel about this Kryptonian time traveler, about the Phantom Zone, and about Connor being...
That part was incidental. They actually did not know about that one.
He spends a lot of time hanging upside down from trapezes. Are we really buying all this?
You 2 dated him. You tell me.
You too? Oh no. Also, isn't she's definitely older than him?
There
Like,
is another way, but you won't like it.
little boy's got game. I can't lie.
How was Krypton destroyed?
Sun exploded, taking Krypton with it. Jor-El and Lara placed their infant son in a rocket and sent him away.
He remembers all of this, but not like himself.
Where did Jor-El and Lara send their son?
To a planet called Earth, a planet under a yellow sun.
A yellow sun? Is that significant?
Kryptonians gain tremendous power under a yellow sun.
Oh gosh. They're like, ooh, we're about to move.
Until I killed him.
You did well. Jor-El and his brother banished us here to prevent us from saving Krypton.
I feel like you were gonna save it in an Omni-Man kind of way. I did good.
I need some air.
There is no air in the Phantom Zone.
Never mind. We'll both go.
He's like, I'm about to beat the shit out of this clone, I swear to God. Oh, there she was pretending.
We are both in terrible danger.
Girl, if you don't know how to Phantom Zone, get out.
Hey, stranger. Like the new look?
Thank you. Wynn seems to like it as well.
Hey.
Back from your sabbatical?
Yes, I took a month off but have returned.
1 whole month after like a solid decade.
Connor's death.
Yeah, about that.
So, glad you've healed, but guess what? We think he's not dead.
What do you need?
A 5th anchor. I will summon Klarion to appear inside a mystic circle that the 5 of us will anchor. In exchange for his freedom, we'll get him to access the Phantom Zone, since he's clearly done it before.
And you believe he will cooperate?
No, that's the entrapment part.
Where is Dr. Fate?
Otherwise occupied. But let's not tell Klarion that. Rolfo soek ainomisit!
This is so much more enjoyable. Everything we've been through, it was for a purpose, but it's so much more enjoyable when it's just like, yay, all the people I like.
Remove Connor Kent from the Phantom Zone and bring him safely to us.
I'm Chaos. I don't do debt. Ha! You thought I'd be afraid to enter Fate's tower, didn't you? And with Fate away, we
I mean,
can swoosh you punks.
it makes sense he'd be able to tell. Now, what exactly is Nightwing gonna do?
Double, double, toil and trouble. Someone's got too roomy a bubble.
Low key, this does feel like they're just wasting time because they can't just like find Connor immediately, I guess. There's gotta be a little bit of a struggle, which I like because a lot of things get wrapped up too quickly on the show. But it does. I remember I was conflicted. Sure.
I'm running outward, wonder. Tick, tick, boom.
And if we're gonna kill time, I'd rather be with Klarion. He's so fun.
In the name of the holy balance, I charge you to honor your debt.
Do we have to?
Good baby.
And I'll honor it by not killing you. This time. Being trapped in this tower is worse than being trapped in that big yellow pogo stick. Bust! You knew I meant bust!
Well, that didn't work.
So the Green Lantern Corps has taken the Kaiser Thrall to Oa. Take your position. Cooperator, I kill your friends. And who knows? If you bide your time, maybe your chance to turn the tables will come. Oa,
Oh,
here we come.
here we go. That wasn't funny. That wasn't funny. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Did we have a plan B?
We did not.
Maybe we do. Zaednijak, if you can track down a 10-year-old school bus.
Does it have like magic residue or something on it? Oh, that's the end of the episode.
This so-called Kaiser throne is indeed sentient. In fact, there seems to be the remnants of a humanoid inside this machine.
Ooh, that's gross.
I'm reading a male, approximate age
Oh gosh, is this a meta kid?
This is a human boy.
Oh.
And I believe he is trying to communicate.
Well, can you ask him to not torture people? Finally, we got a post-credit that didn't pain me to watch. Because it's been a rough, like, 4 episodes, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Shakespeare in Forager is not fun to listen to. Nor does it feel like a good use of my time. But that was actually interesting. Now, there's a whole nother question, is what 11-year-old is trapped in the Kaiser thrall? And or is it gonna be someone we know? Or is it just gonna be like the concept of, you know, this is the end result of all these metas that have been trafficked off Earth and weaponized? It is deeply horrifying. It is giving me Torchwood season 3. Is it season 3? Yeah, Torchwood season 3 vibes. I feel like the whole child trafficking of metas thing was always like so wildly dark, and the way the show like kind of wraps around, like they obviously mention it, like, oh, this horrible thing is happening, and then they like slide over into something else, and you kind of, and then they like mention, oh, by the way, this is like still happening. And it's like, oh wow, thousands of children are being kidnapped, weaponized, and literally just killed, sacrificed in other intergalactic war things. Like, there was that scene where they like blew up a kid. Crazy. They're obviously not shying away from it, but it's like every time we get distracted by something else and then they remind you that that's happening, I'm like, oh my god, like all over again. Which does make me kind of wish we just focused on that like really horrifying thing like the whole time. And I guess they'd say, oh well, we already did that with Brienne season, like sure, but it's a lot more engaging, to be honest. Yeah, I had a good time. I think this was a very like nice, refreshing comeback off of the last arc. I, you know, got all the characters that I enjoy together. They, you know, they made me eat my words a little bit because I was really stuck on like, what the hell is Dick gonna do? Like, how is he going to detective his way into the Phantom Zone? And they made it work. Like, Bart's missing. Okay, are these two things connected? And like all those pieces played together. So actually, you know, I'll give them their props for that. I think that was very well handled. I think all those scenes like played together in a way that made sense. But I think most kind of significantly, it just made me really wish these characters like were together all the time. If not the entire like 5-person group, or I mean it was what, 7 originally? If not all of them, like pair them up a little bit more. It's like on paper giving them solo arcs is good and great and gives them a chance to develop, but it just makes me so much happier when they're all together. You have like weaker characters, it gives them time to develop more organically because you're just like, all right, just bounce them off a character that I know better. When they introduced Satana, very soon after her introduction, they gave her like a whole solo episode, not solo episode, but a duo episode with Artemis, where we got to know her and Artemis. Through this episode, we got to know them not through just like the shared backstory, but also how they interact. We got to see their personalities. We got to see what they each contribute to the group, their individual skill sets that complement each other. And I would have liked that if we could have just kept that energy going throughout the whole thing. Like if instead of doing like solo arcs, we'd done like paired arcs, I think that might have worked better for some of these. It's kind of what I was saying with like Rocket's arc, where I was saying like, why does she have these C-list characters on this mission? Like they should have brought other relevant people, frankly, on the mission with them, and then we could have maybe focused more on Rocket. Maybe we could have focused on her at all, who knows, but maybe we could have focused more on her, but also at the same time have another character that we're maybe more familiar with, who's also a bit more of a main character that holds my interest, frankly, and just have them bounce off of each other. It's crazy how much more I enjoy it when they're all together. Just the antics, the gossiping, the like snarkiness, it literally does make you go back to that like season 1, season 2 feeling of like, we're all together, that's the team. It just kind of feels like throwing away, like unless you know it's gonna hit, and like I think the Artemis arc was a hit, like chef's kiss, well done. But if you're not gonna do that, which they don't most of the time, just pair them up. It works better that way. This is a group endeavor. It's power of teamwork, baby. Like it works. The Klarion thing, kind of like I was saying, I was going back and forth because I was like, I don't like it when they solve everything too quickly, but at the same time, this Klarion thing is mostly here to fill space and time. And I think the reason I'm going back and forth on it is because I don't like it when they have a problem and they solve it in like half an episode, and it's like, wow, we've had this problem all season, and in one episode it's solved. So on one hand, I do like that they have this drawback of, oh, we'll ask Klarion to get into the Phantom Zone. Oh, that didn't work, right? Like, true. But at the same time, because, as I've said so many times, I'm obsessed with the idea of all of these Kryptonians getting out of the Phantom Zone and wreaking havoc, I want the time to be focused on that. So if there is a choice to be made, now that we're in the final countdown of this season, yeah, let's just wrap it up quickly. Half an episode, we've got Connor out the Phantom Zone, and then we can deal with the Kryptonians, because that's way more fun, right? Like, this one-off episode, honestly, it looked really good. The fight scenes are really interesting. I think whenever they have Klarion on screen, they just get really creative with it. So all of that was, like, visually enjoyable. But in the back of my head, and honestly the front of it, I was going, okay, but what if we saved this time and had more Kryptonian time? And not in the Phantom Zone, outside. Out in the real world, after Connor has just told them that if they go under a yellow sun, they become invincible. Like, come on. It's like we're creeping away towards a much more interesting storyline, and I fear that that is the one that's either A, not going to happen, or B, that's going to be the one that gets half of an episode and then gets resolved. And like, no! It's not right. It's in the wrong order. I guess we'll see. Like I said, I've honestly, especially on this season, I think I've just been like 1 out of 27 on my guesses for this season. I've just been wrong every time. So maybe what I fear will not come to pass. Other significant happenings is just now Zod is pretty much up to speed on Krypton being destroyed, Kal-El being the lone survivor, and also, again, and most importantly, if you go under a yellow sun, you get superpowers. So, sure, that's gonna play in. Connor, I don't really understand the depths of phantom sickness, because it's like, oh, he lost his memory, he didn't remember his own name, he doesn't remember anything, but he is remembering, like, current events. Like, he's remember, oh, Zod exploded when the sun, like, Zod exploded, Krypton exploded, and da-da-da-da-da, and Kal-El is the son of da-da. Like, okay, you're remembering all genealogy, but you, like, don't remember your friends, your girlfriend, like, nothing relevant stuck around in that little mind of yours. Okay. Because, I mean, even in the Phantom Zone, he was hallucinating McGann before he was hallucinating Luther. Like, none of that clicked. And I guess maybe trauma is more deep-seated. It's a bit of a morbid understanding. Unless the Phantom Zone inherently drudges up your most negative emotions. That could be an argument, a thought. The future traveler heroes and Bart got by Baby Zod, and they are now all on their way to Oa to get the Kaiser Thrall, except the projector is destroyed. So what exactly can the Kaiser Thrall do that makes it, like, so important? Baby Zod needs to fly all the way to Oa to get it. Also, it is in fact a small child, and that's disgusting. But from what we saw with the Kaiser Thrall, like, it could obviously track things, it was a great GPS, it could teleport them, it could torture people. Which, if it is a meta, I don't know what the hell their power set is, because that's a whole bunch of different things. But there has to be something more than GPS tracking and teleporting that makes it worthy of, like, flying all the way to Oa, willing to fight all the Green Lantern and steal it back. There has to be some other ability that it has that makes it valuable, and I don't think we've seen it yet. So I think that'll be interesting to see, like, what else can it do, and if it is indeed sentient, not if. It is indeed sentient and it's like a person, presumably the people in Oa are gonna try to help the child trapped in the box. I should hope. So maybe when he gets there, they'll, like, crack open the shell and there's, like, a tiny person in there who needs some assistance, and he'll be like, I've been thwarted. The Kaiser Thrall is no longer in box form and much less easy to order around. I don't know. I'm trying to think of ways where they could just kill the plot before it gets exciting, because that's usually what they do. Alright, so I'm going to do what I often say but rarely do, which is keep this one brief. It's the first episode of the arc. We're kind of just getting introduced to the main storylines. We're obviously building up to a lot of different things that could happen. Something with the Green Lantern, something with Phantom Girl, Connor escaping the Phantom Zone and inadvertently letting the Kryptonians out. Our team is gonna go find the magic school bus and I guess look for magic Phantom Zone residue and hope they can get in. I don't know, there's a lot of directions, there's a lot of plot points for us to explore, and I'm sure at that point I will have more than enough material with which to make a verbal conspiracy board and have like 30 minutes of theories and speculation and circle backs and everything I normally do. But this time I'm going to stop here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment, etc. All those good things that make me very, very happy. If you don't want to do any of that, but you watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you. I still really, really appreciate you. And I will catch you guys next week. Peace.